Hey friends! So I thought doing an outdoor intro to this video would be fitting because I made this resin wind chime. Of course that means I've got dog noises in the background and birds and wind through the trees. So hopefully you can hear me okay. And this is what we're going to be making. This is all stuff from a kit. And of course I'm going to be linking everything below that I used. And I'll show you some of this in the next clip. Here are the supplies I'll be using to make a resin wind chime. I bought a whole kit, so it came with a silicone mold, some beads, small crimping beads, clear line for hanging, and chimes. Then I have the supplies for working with the resin. A silicone mat, glasses and gloves, large and small mixing cups, stir sticks, and different colors. Mica powder, alcohol ink, and glitter. I also have scissors and pliers and a hand drill. Not pictured, my Resiner's bubble remover, UV resin, and a UV lamp. Mix resin according to the package instructions. 5 ounces was enough to fill all the molds for me. If you have a bubble remover, use it now on the mixed resin. Make sure the air escape is closed before pressing the power button. The pressure in the chamber will decrease, allowing bubbles to escape the resin. In a previous video, my resin was a thicker variety, so I had to stop the vacuum before it overflowed. But this was a thinner resin, so it ran the full 5-minute cycle just fine. When it's sped up to 8 times speed, you can really see all the bubbles coming up to the surface. After turning off the machine, release the air seal and the remaining bubbles will pop. Next, I divided resin to smaller cups so I could add mica, ink, and glitter. I liked blue and purple for some of the planets, but I had tiny yellow star glitter that was perfect for the star molds. To make the white, I used white alcohol ink and white mica powder to give it a good white color with some shimmer in it. Pour resin into the different molds. Be careful to not drip colors into the other sections. You can play around with mixing color pours too. And I will tell you, I found the assembly process to be much harder than I thought it was going to be. I think mostly because the clear line that comes with it is just hard to see and kind of hard to work with. So if you wanted, you could definitely substitute out some other sort of yarn or string or cord to put this all together. You could do this a number of different ways. I'm just showing you the way that I did it. Let the resin cure for the recommended time, which is probably a day or two. Then pop them out. The ring has 10 holes, so I'll use 5 of them to hang planets from, and the other 5 will have strings pulling up to hold the whole thing. And the large moon will hang from the center and have the chimes underneath. All of the molds have at least 1 hole in them, but for some of them I needed to add a second hole to make my design work. So I'm using this small hand drill. It works great for resin and for the clay earrings that I make. Now I can attach something at the top and hang from the bottom. I wanted to dress up the center moon piece a little more, so I pulled out some UV resin and mixed a little of this pretty silver glitter in. After spreading it over the star, I cured with a UV lamp for 2 minutes, and then I repeated on the other side. It's going to be so pretty as it spins. Now we get to try to put it all together. The clear line shows up on a black background but disappears on my light table. So find a dark surface to work on and save some of your sanity. Cut several pieces about 8 inches long and start tying together the hanging pairs using a square knot. This would be an easy time to secure the knots with a drop of UV resin, but I didn't decide to do that until later steps, so I'll show you how when I get there. With 9 of these smaller hanging pieces, I had 8 of them paired up, and for the full blue circle, I added 2 beads above and 2 beads below, securing them with crimping beads. As a note, I'll say that sometimes I added a second crimp to make sure that the bead didn't slide over it, but a drop of UV resin here as well would also secure that. Then cut 4 pieces of the string that are about 11 inches long. Tie each of the 3 chimes to the bottom of the large moon. Then loop the 4th piece through the top and slide a small crimping bead onto both ends and pinch it right above the moon. Now take 5 pieces of string that are each 8 inches long, add and pinch a crimping bead to one end, then a whole bead. Thread them through alternating holes on the ring and tape them down so they stay in place for now. Gather all the top ends of these strings and hold them up so that the ring will hang evenly. Thread on one of the crimping beads. This will not be easy because you're trying to get all 5 ends in, so bust out those eyeglasses or magnifying glass. If you can't get them all on at one time, you can do some of them and then take the end that's still sticking out and work to thread it in. You just might have to fiddle with it a little bit. When it's on, you're going to slide it down a little bit and crimp it into place with the pliers. Then I added the large bead that came in the kit, and I topped it off with a second crimping bead. To attach all of the dangles, I'm just tying a square knot up through the holes of the ring. If I were doing this again, I might follow the same method that I did for the other hanging strings and just have a bead and a crimping bead hold these in place from the top side. The final thing I'm going to add is the moon and the chimes from the center. So I'm taking the loose ends and threading them up through the large bead and crimping at the top. Then I'll secure it with a drop of UV resin. So I'm working on the silicone mat so that nothing sticks to it. And I'll place just 1 drop of the UV resin and bring the UV lamp over on top of it. I'm going to go and find every knot and every crimping bead and seal them the same way. Keep the knot flat on the silicone, add a drop of the resin, and cure it. Then it will pop right off the mat, and then I can go and carefully trim the ends all the way up to where the resin is, and it'll hold it secure. Just make sure that you're careful to only be cutting the ends and not the actual loop, or it will fall apart. I'll let you guess how I know this. Like I said, when I was first putting the wind chime together, I hadn't thought about this yet. It probably would have been easier to do some of these before I actually attached them together, like hung them from the ring for the wind chime. But it worked well enough to do it at this point. And what's nice is, you've got this little drop of UV resin here, but it's going to be more secure than trying to just secure it with a drop of hot glue or a little bit of super glue. And it also just kind of fits in with the wind chime. Those little dots of resin can catch the light and it doesn't look out of place. To make the hanging loop, I took the 2 long threads from adding in the moon and I tied those in a knot to make the loop, and then I used a crimping bead to crimp down on the knot and added a little bit of UV resin too, so it's really not going anywhere. In this next video clip, I'm going to keep the original audio so you can hear the wind chimes in action. So of course, leave me any comments if you have questions about what I did, or if you've got tips for other makers. And thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.